So here's the next declutter. Everyone voted and said they wanted eyeshadow palettes. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to declutter my eyeshadow palettes. We're going to go through them. You know what? Hold on. That sucker was heavy. Here are some more eyeshadows, like singles and, eyeshadow like liquid and uh, sticks. I don't know why I couldn't remember that. Anyway, I have a face palettes as well. I might throw that in here. Who knows? But yeah, this is the official eyeshadow palette declutter. But before we get into that, I want to say, hey, what's good? It's your boy Lnegz. Welcome back to another video. Yep, another one. If you're into decluttering, if you're into organizing, if you're into eyeshadow palettes, this will be that one for you. It's the one for you. It is. It is. No. Definitely subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so yet. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy it and comment down below. Let me know if you're into any of these palettes. Have you used any of them? Did I do a good job? Y'all let me know. Y'all let me know. But yeah, let's get right into it. Let's go. All right, let's get started with this Jeffree Star palette. It's the Alien palette. It's one of my first palettes that I purchased. First luxury palettes. It looks like this. It's not going anywhere. I don't use it, but it's a memory. It's a time in life. There was a time that Jeffree Star Cosmetics was everything. It was huge. We used to stand on Morphe lines, at the Morphe store, stand on that line hours to get the latest Jeffree Star Cosmetics collection. So yes, Alien is staying. We have the Elf and Chipotle palette. This collaboration was beautiful, like duochromes and just creamy shades. Like, yes. How this goes. Lettuce. Yeah, like that. I've used this like a couple of months ago. It's still amazing. So yeah, I'm going to keep it. Here we have the Elf and Jay Kissa collaboration. To the rescue. Yeah, here's the little sticker sheet thing. Yeah, I don't use it, but it's a memory, I'm going to keep it just for memories. This is another palette that is staying in memory. It's the Tarte Adeline Morin. I actually said I was going to try this palette, see if the shades still do anything. You know what I mean? Like, look at the highlighter and the blush. Ugh, such a pretty palette. If this smelled like lemons, it would have been everything. I don't even know what happened to this lady. She was a content creator. I know that. All right, we have our first declutter. This is the Nomad Hudson Valley palette. I just don't use it. Obviously I'm not a huge eyeshadow person, but I've collected palettes over time. This was sent in PR, you know what I mean? So, Dominique Cosmetics. This is the Essential palette. This is gorgeous. Look at this. It's like acrylic. It's a palette that I got this year. Did I say it's from Dominique Cosmetics? Yeah, I think so. Beautiful shades. It's neutral, but you know what I mean? Like everyday friendly. I can use shades as bronzer and blush, which I have used this for a blush many times. Liner, you know what I mean? A beautiful palette. It's for sure staying. Haunted Europe palette. One of my favorite palettes from Nomad. I think a year ago or two, it was my favorite palette of the year. It's back in stock right now too on Nomad's site, and yes, it's staying for sure. I just love it. Just so beautiful and smoky. You know what I mean? It's like a devious palette. All right. We have another palette that is getting decluttered. The Wahala palette from Dubious Place. Some of the shades was pretty, but some of them, it's just not me anymore. I don't really care for it, So yep, declutter. Check this palette out from Ofra. The Pro palette. It has a huge mirror and all these shades. We have blushes and highlighter and bronzer and shimmer bronzer, um, banana powder, you know what I mean? Eyeshadows, like everything you need for sure. Staying, the quality is amazing. This is like $100 palette right here. And you could take out the shades and you know what I mean? Which I think I'm gonna do something like that. We'll see. But I am keeping. Oh, this was given to me by a subscriber. It was sent to me by a subscriber for my birthday. This is the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory palette. So cool, so cool. Yeah. Storybook Cosmetics. It was owned by a Spanish, like two Spanish sisters. I don't know what happened to it, but look at that. The golden ticket. Shades, I never used it. It's in mint condition. You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't know what happened to this brand. Their palettes were beautiful. Like Storybook Cosmetics. I had so many palettes from them too. So yep, this is for sure staying. All right, here we have some small eyeshadow palettes from Hard Candy, the Moods palette, um, Buzz, Bear, Buzz, and then there's Elf Pumpkin Pie. It's so old now. Remember the bite size? Yeah, I just don't use it. I don't use any of these, so they're all gonna get decluttered. This Natasha Denona palette, the Peak palette, I think it's called a Fez palette that we got in BoxyCharm like 3 years ago, 4 years ago, or something. Um, this quality, I don't know what the heck is wrong with it. It's not good though. But yep, decluttered. We Glossier Monochromes Essential Eyeshadow Trio. This is the buff shade color story. Oh, I'm keeping this. I like wearing this in like the winter time. It has a shimmer shade and then a sparkling shade, which I don't use that. I just use these two, a matte one and that. So creamy, like, so good, so good. Yeah, keeping. This is a memory. This is the Icy Bitch palette from Tarte. I used this palette like 2 years ago, 2 years ago, 2 months ago, and the quality was horrible. Yeah, but it's still a memory. This was the April Fool's palette that came to life, basically. This is when Jeffree Star Cosmetics came out with the Blue Blood palette, and they wanted to do their own version of it because the Blue Blood palette was everything. So, yep, staying. So, this was gifted to me by CoverGirl. It's a beautiful nude palette. Don't sleep on this formula either. It's beautiful. I'm keeping this palette here from Tarte, Reach for the Clouds. A very basic palette that performs really well. I am keeping that for sure. I think this goes in here. Yeah. Yep, keeping this as well. It performs really well. Wayne Goss palette. I love these shades over here. I'm going to keep it. Yeah, memories, you know, even though he rebranded or he's rebranding, still great palette. This one is a maybe. This is the ABH Soft Glam 2 palette. It's a maybe. I don't really be using it, but... And this is another maybe here from Wonder Beauty. I think this one's the one that I took with me to... when I went away for my birthday. So, it's a maybe. This is the Il Makiage palette. This is a powder formula, but for some reason, they're so creamy. The shades. Like, yeah. It feels wet, but it's a powder. Like, yeah, you have to build them up. They're not that pigmented, you know. I'm going to keep this. Ethereal Eyes palette from Mario is going nowhere. Yo, there was a month that I was wearing this non-stop, yo. Non-stop. And I've literally worn every shade in this palette. Because I really wanted to test it out. Yeah, it's a beautiful palette. That's not going anywhere. You need to put this in my, what is that called? In the grave with me when I pass away. Mm. The Quickie palette from Artist Couture. It's old now. I'm gonna let it go. Great quality. I love the size of it. I love the shades. Like, it just doesn't perform the same. So I'm gonna let it go. This Tarte palette is staying. It's an old palette. I actually used it and it worked really well. So it still works. It's an old palette. It's like 6 years old, 7 years old. It still smells really good and it works really good. So I'm keeping it. This is a Wonder Beauty palette that I am getting rid of. This is the Getaway Eye and Face palette. I like that they like. Oh, that's coming out. Yeah, I knew it was soft like that, but yeah, I'm gonna get rid of it. Lord have mercy. Forgot all about that. So yeah, Declutter. This is a Pacifica palette that it's great quality. Like, I really enjoy the quality of it. It just doesn't have something that's light enough for me that I like to highlight. So for that, I'm just gonna let it go. All right, these two palettes from Wonder Beauty, I'm gonna let it go. This one was my birthday palette, and I'm gonna let it go. Yeah, and then the Soft Glam 2, I'm letting go as well. So declutter both of these. I'm gonna let go of this Maquillage palette. I just don't use it, you know. I mean, I don't use it as much as I want to, I guess. So that one's going. I'm keeping this palette, keeping this one, and keeping this one. Yeah, keeping all three of these. Now we have face palettes and eyeshadow palettes. So we're gonna go through this. This is from Mac and Jeremy Scott, the collaboration. I don't use it. I used it years ago, but I had it for like 7 years now. So it's very old. Um, anyway, I keep this as a display piece. I just love the CD look of it. The Cali Ray face palette is going nowhere. One of my faves. It's definitely gonna be in my top beauty product of the year. So yeah, it's beautiful. You can use it on your face, you can use it on your eyes. It looks like I'll be using the hell out of it, right? This highlighter is everything. So keep. All right, this palette from the Wild Nothing palette from ColourPop. It's so beautiful. It's like springy and fall and just it's very light. You know what I mean? And I love it. Quality is still really good. They still sell it. I am keeping. All right, the Miami palette. I'm gonna keep it because I want to trade out some of the shades from this with the other Ofra palette that I have. With this one, I'm gonna trade out some shades. So yeah, keeping both. All right, this one I don't know how I got back in here, but this is getting sent to somebody, one of my friends. This is the Head in the Clouds palette, the Mini Mix palette. So yeah, these are both palettes that I decluttered already. I don't know how these got in here, but yeah, these are getting decluttered. All right, the Ciate palette is getting decluttered. It's beautiful, but I just don't use it, so it's going. The Natasha Denona Berry Pop situation is beautiful. It's staying. The My Dream Cheek Trio, of course, this is staying as well. I love this size. I love using these products. I mean, the cream is not the best cream product, the best cream blush, but you can make them work. You know what I mean? So from Pop Beauty, there's the Prismatic Pop palette, and it's a Better Bear color story. These are beautiful. I just don't use them because I reach, I'm going to reach for something else over this. So what's the point of keeping it? You know what I mean? So declutter. This Kaleidos palette, like trio, I just use the two shades here to bronze and contour, and this packaging is all that. It's called the Kaleidos Symphony Contour Trio in Tan. Yeah. It's such beautiful packaging too. Like, yeah, I'm gonna keep this around. Physicians Formula, little bronzer contour palette is staying. This is beautiful quality right here, affordable. If you could find this is the lightest one because they have a deeper one and then this lighter one. So they're very universal. You know what I mean? You get your money's worth. It's for sure, a must have. Definitely pick it up. The Dior face palette. There's the Backstage Glow face palette in 001 Universal. Oh, she ain't going nowhere. I even want the new one that they came out with for the holiday. But I've been hearing horror stories about it. But yeah, I'm keeping this one. This is so beautiful. It has a blush, a bronzer, and two highlighters, or their strobe shades as they call it. Um, this is breathtaking on the skin. All right, this is the new midi palette, the Cheeky Glow from Ofra. It's not going anywhere. I've used these two shades and they're beautiful. This one has a little more pigmentation than that one, but they're radiant blushes, but they're not like the Rare Beauty or the NYX blushes that or the Rare Beauty blushes and the NYX blushes, the glowy ones. You can actually see the color on the skin as well. I don't know why I'm saying all that anyway. I'm gonna keep this. All right, let's get into singles and sticks and yeah. Okay, this Wonder Beauty duo eyeshadow was beautiful while it lasted. I used to use this so many times. It's the Double Date eyeshadow duo. I love this like taupey purple shade. It's just something quick. You know what I mean? And the shimmer, it was stunning on the eyes. I just don't use it anymore. So Declutter. The Moira cream shadows. I'm just gonna keep one, which is they're called the Everlast Shimmering Cream Shadows and Melrose and Copper. I'm gonna keep the Melrose one and get rid of the Copper one. I don't know. I like the Melrose one because it's like rosy. Kaja, I don't use these anymore. These are little eyeshadow stacks. They're real beautiful. I just don't use them. You know what I mean? This I love. This is the eyeshadow um, Whipped Dream eyeshadow, like cream eyeshadow. I would get this again in another color, in other colors. It's beautiful for a wash of color on the eyes, but it's old. It has an expiration date, which expired two months ago, so that's going. And this little eyeshadow, cream eyeshadow, I don't use it. I don't know why I got this color. It looks like it would be beautiful, but I just don't use it. Especially this color, like I'm gonna let it go. These little eyeshadow singles are gonna go. This one's from IBY Beauty, which was a big indie brand years ago. It's a beautiful shade. And this is like a brown shade from Nomad. I have a brown shade in the palette. This is gonna go as well, so declutter both of those. I love my Rem Beauty eyeshadow stick. It's called, what is it called? Multi-use eye stick, and it's the shade Juno. It's so pretty. All over the eyes, like the lid, you know what I mean? You could blend it out a little bit. It's really pretty. You could make it a little more subtle or a little more in your face from Rem Beauty. I'm keeping it. Gen C. I didn't like this. I don't know. I didn't give it a fair chance either, I guess. Yeah, I just don't like the shade. Yeah, I don't like the shade, so I'm gonna let it go. Cause I know I'm not gonna reach for it. That's the thing. You know what I mean? I know I'm not gonna reach for it. This eyeshadow duo, I don't know. It's a stick eyeshadow on one side, and then it's creamy. It might be pretty. I think I'm gonna keep it. And then it has shimmer on the other side, the little stick. So yeah, I'm gonna keep it. I had all of them sent to me. They were sent to me in PR. All right, these eyeshadow sticks. They were all sent to me in PR, and then the two small ones were gifted to me by my friend. I love this one from Laura Mercier. It's called Rose Gold Caviar Stick because I used it the other day and I was able to sheer it out. Look at that. It's so pretty. Oh, I'm keeping this one. I am for sure keeping that one. And then this one is the Longwear Cream Shadow Stick and Smoky Topaz from... Yeah, that one, not really. It has big pieces of glitter in it. No. Alright, and the rest of these from Laura Mercier was sent to me in PR. Alright, I'm just pre-filming a quick outro. Hopefully I did a good job. I'm not sure. I think I'm going to knock that pile down to like less than half. And I think there's like 40 something palettes, and I'll be good with 10, to be honest with you. It may be a goal of 10, you know? Yeah, so definitely subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos of me, of mine. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy it. Comment down below. Let me know, did I do a good job? Should I get a pat on my back? And yeah, I will link a couple of the products that I have on my face if you want to get into it. He looked fresh. He looked fresh. And yeah, I'll check you out later. Deuces.